It's time for another Debt Snowball update. Hi and welcome back. I'm Kamika and this is Well Balanced Wallet, where I help you create healthy money habits and live a life that you love on your current budget. Today we are going to go over the October Debt Snowball update. So first up, we're going to talk about the budget. Our budget for October was pretty normal. We had a few events that we went to throughout the month. The first one is Hamilton, and if you haven't seen Hamilton live, I suggest you get a ticket and go see Hamilton live. It was so good. My husband and I both enjoyed ourselves, and I honestly want to see it live again. It was so good. So the only thing that we had to pay for Hamilton was gas to get to the venue, since we had already purchased our tickets over the summer, and gas was probably $30 because we weren't completely on empty, and it was about an hour and a half drive. The next event that we had was my mom's birthday, and I was trying to plan everything out to where it made sense when I booked our Hamilton tickets, because I know that my mom's birthday is in October and I knew that we were going to have to travel for Hamilton. So I picked the date of the show to be on a Thursday, and my mom's birthday was that Saturday. So when we left Hamilton, it was like 10:30 at night. We drove to my parents' house, which was an hour and a half away from the Hamilton venue. So we didn't have to gas up for that trip because we gassed up before we left to go to the show. But we did pay for food when we got in my parents' city. So we had a party, which was a very, very small gathering in my mom's backyard, and we paid for a few things for that as well. And the things that we paid for her party came out of our trips and celebrations category. And of course we had to make the drive back home, which was 2.5 hours. So we did have to get gas for that part of the trip. We just made like a big circle. But yeah, those are the only things out of the norm that we used our budget for this month. Everything else was our bills, the savings goals that we have, and the few miscellaneous items that we end up paying for every month. So while we're still in our budget, I do want to talk about some of the adjustments that we have made in the past couple of months. And I'm kind of still trying to get used to this new budget setup that we have, but I think it's going to work out really great in the long run. So the first thing that we did is we increased our grocery budget category to $350 per month. And I don't know if the cost of food is going up or if we are just eating more expensive things than we have been eating in the past, but it seems like we are always going over our grocery budget. So instead of trying to find money at the end of the month to replenish the category, I just increased the budget, and so far it's working out. Another change that we made to our budget is to add targets to almost all of our categories. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, pause this video and take a look at our November budget with me to see exactly what the targets are and how I set them. But I feel like having targets for each category is going to help us stay on track. It's also a great way for me to keep track of the things that we pay for each month and make sure that we stay within our $3,500 monthly spending amount. So that's pretty much all that happened with our budget in October. Now let's move on to the Debt Snowball portion. I think I mentioned in the last Debt Snowball update that since the companies aren't reaching back out to us about the collections, that we would go ahead and just start putting extra money towards our mortgage, because we do want to pay our mortgage off early. And I know that, you know, people are on two sides of the fence with whether you should pay your mortgage off early or whether that is considered good debt. But for my husband and I, we would rather try our best to pay it off sooner rather than later. So that's one thing that we are focusing on. In October, we paid our normal $12.12 for the mortgage, and then our normal $75 towards principal only. But going forward, we will be paying the $12.12 for our mortgage, and then in addition to that, we'll be paying the $75 that we have been paying towards the principal, and we're gonna add in an extra $101 payment. So this is the new total for our mortgage, and I think we are on the right track to pay our mortgage off at least a little bit earlier than the 30 years that we signed our mortgage for. In other Debt Snowball news, my husband and I both got medical bills this month, and they equal together $2,000, and we don't currently have $2,000 in our medical category for our budget. So what I did for that is I called the place that he got his bill from and the place that I got my bill from, and I set up payment plans with both places that were lower than the amount that we can afford to pay each month. That way I can pay extra, but if I need to pay the lower amount for 1 month, I can. And yeah, so we're on payment plans to pay that off. And we decided, and I think I mentioned it here before, that we need to save up the amount of our deductible in our budget so that we can pay these bills as they come. Because we knew that we had medical bills coming in, but we were not expecting them to equal a little bit over $2,000. And I won't go on a tangent about healthcare in America, but yeah, we weren't expecting the bills to be that much. But it would really be better on our budget and our peace of mind if we were able to save up the amount of our deductible and just pay these bills off as we go. So the target that I set for our medical category is now the amount of both of our deductibles combined. And we are a long way from saving that amount, but we'll chip away at it every month until we're able to have it in there permanently, and we won't have to worry about going into debt for medical bills anymore. So the last thing I want to talk about is our sinking funds and our savings goals for 2021. We didn't save a whole lot of money in October towards our savings goals, but we were able to increase a few of our sinking funds. And like I said, we changed our budget up a little bit and we added targets, and some of these targets are a little bit more money than we have been saving in the past, so it's just taking us a minute to adjust. So there's really nothing new to report about our sinking funds and our savings goals. So if you've made it to the end of this video, because I know it's probably a long one, make sure you put this emoji down in the comments. And that's all for today. Be sure to give it a like, subscribe, and click the link on your screen right now for more Well Balanced Wallet content. See you there.